Alright everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be working on these Can-Am Mav R shocks here. As you can see, they are the live valve smart shocks with the bolt right here in the end, as you can see. And that makes it so you can't use the traditional needle and valve to fill up your reservoirs. So what we're going to be doing is sticking a Schrader valve in here, in that hole right there in the middle. And that should just make it so you can hook it up to your typical nitrogen tank with the end on it. As you can see right here, Schrader valve end. And then you'll be able to top it off real quick and easy instead of having to use tools or have it sent off to Fox or any of that stuff. So let's start with this process here. First, we're gonna slowly take out this bolt right here because there is a little bit of pressure in this tube if it's still charged at all. And then we'll push this down and get that circlip out and pull it off right there. Then I'll show you what to do next. All right. Now you just gotta let it drain out until it stops, and then we'll pull that out the rest of the way because we don't want it to go shooting off somewhere. All right, now that it's drained out, we're gonna take it out of there. Make sure that you grab the little O-ring with the bolt so you don't lose it. Stick it somewhere. And then next we're gonna take a rubber hammer or mallet, smack it down like that. Now you can see that silver ring in there. That's what we're gonna be taking out. Get yourself a little hook here, or a pick, whatever you wanna call it. Stick it in there, grab underneath it. It's gonna take a second, let me grab it real quick. And just like that, got it out. Drop it on the table right there. It's right where it's supposed to go. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure to be really careful not to damage this outer rim right here. You're gonna take a screwdriver, this is gonna take 2 hands, one on each side, and you're gonna very slowly and carefully pry it up like that. Because if you look right here on the rim, it's got a little ledge right there for you to pry on. You gotta be really careful though to not bend it or scratch it or anything, or else it will look ugly and might leak, who knows. Anyway, I'm gonna set the camera down and get this pried out. And once it's pried out like that, where you can't get the screwdriver against the rim anymore to pry it out any further, just grab it, wiggle it back and forth. It should come out pretty easy. As you can see, we're getting a little bit of leakage here past the O-ring right there. So now, you can see down in there, no oil or anything. So we're gonna clean this off and then I'll show you what to do next. All right, so now once you have your caps cleaned off right here, like that, and have them out, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be taking these Schrader valves right here. Under that cap, it's just a normal valve. So it'll make it a whole lot easier to fill it up with just a normal end like that. Plus you'll be able to do it on the car, which will make it a whole lot easier. So instead of just having this screw, it'll have that valve. Yep. And before you go put it in the vise to drill the hole, see that super slick trick right there? You just pinch it on the sides and then you're able to pull it off. You don't want to get this too tight because these are aluminum and it'll crush up the edges. Now you got to clean that off, of course, before you tap it. And now once it's cleaned off a second time, you got to get the tap. Make sure you have plenty of oil in there. You don't want it tearing at the aluminum. And just carefully tap it because those taps are tapered, so it should get tighter as you thread it in further. So you just gotta be careful, go back and forth like that. You can see it's starting to get pretty tight in there because of the taper on the tap. And just like that, it's all ready. Boom. And now you want to Loctite these so that it doesn't come out or have the chance to. Now you want to get these pretty tight, not caveman tight or anything like that. Just get it pretty snug. Like that much. You can see it's looking real slick. Now we're going to do the other one and then stick them on the car. Now we're over here at the car, and you want to lube up the O-ring on this so that it slides in there easily and doesn't snag or tear or anything like that. It's pretty simple. You just stick it up in there, and eventually with enough wiggling it goes just like that. Now it's in there. You take your snap ring, you stick it in there like that, snap it in, and now I'm going to go around and push it in there, make sure it's seated all the way, and just like that it's installed in there and ready to go. Now you can use your super slick Schmitty racing gauge right here, so you can just pressurize it to the perfect pressure you want. I think we're doing it at 200 psi.
Yep.
So look at that. Here's your nitrogen tank. Hook it up. See, we're at 100.
Uh-oh, we're out of gas.
Gonna need to get some more gas to fill this one all the way up. As you can see, we're in the front right here with the Schmitty racing valve right here. It fits perfectly right between the A-arm and the bottom of the reservoir. And when you're filling these up, you have to pick it up off the ground so the shock's fully extended to get the proper pressure in there so that it works correctly. Anyway, that's what it looks like. The regulator broke, so I didn't get any video of filling it because I was regulating it by turning this valve right here. Anyway, I'll show you what we used, and then that'll be that. All right, this is what we used to do the job. We have a 7/16 socket right here to put these Schrader valves in, a T20 Torx bit to get the little screw out, blue Loctite to Loctite these in, and then the 1/8 inch NPT 27 threads per inch tap right there. Along with these Schrader valves we got from Mastercar. These ones are stainless steel, which are rated much higher than brass, so that's why we chose them. Make sure you get these ones, which are 4,000 psi rated. Who knows if it could reach that much pressure, but if it did, you don't want it blowing out the end or blowing the valve up and damaging stuff. So the drill bit we used to drill the end of the cap out so it would fit the valve is an 11/32 drill bit. And then I'll go and show you what it looks like now. See, this is the rear right here. You can get to it really easy. You can top it off. You don't have to take it to Fox or whatever. So that's real easy to get to. Right here on the front. You can see it's also easy to get to when it's jacked up, so there's more clearance, so you can fit the valve in there. Now I'm sure that you can get these end caps out with the shock still in there, but we already had the front end off because you have to take the whole front end off to be able to fit these shocks out. It's pretty annoying, but anyway, all you have to do is release the pressure, push the cap up, pull the snap ring, and then wiggle the end out, and it should come out along with the other side. It's just the same with the rear ones. You're not able to get to the bolt very easy. It's way up there, which is right down there. So we just drained it right there and pulled it out, pulled the cap out. You also can't forget the valve right here for filling up the shocks. It makes it a whole lot easier, especially when the regulator on your bottle breaks. So just make sure you get this. It makes the job a whole lot easier, especially here on the front. So if you guys enjoyed this video as much as these body lines right here, make sure to like and subscribe to Keeg's Custom Builds. Keeg out.